The second key component of this, once you position yourself as being personable, and it's very important, by the way, I'm going to go back to personable just for 1 second to make the point that there's a difference between internal and external characteristics that you're going to look for. A lot of people want to know how important the external characteristics are in the evaluation process of whether or not you're personable or likable. And they are important, but they're only important for about the first 5 minutes. What most studies have shown is that after about 5 or 6 minutes, buyers start to make evaluations of your internal characteristics. So yeah, you want to look good, you want to be sharp, you're a salesperson, I'm sure you always are, but ultimately they're going to try to measure your internal characteristics, and buyers really will focus on that. Does this person, are they honest, do they have integrity, et cetera. All right, so let's move on to benevolent. So benevolent is where the buyer is looking for evidence that the seller is genuinely interested in their welfare and motivated to seek joint gain. And this is very important. I'll give you a great example of someone that uses benevolence. We had a salesperson named Larry who sold cables, who basically sold communication cables. Commodity, run-of-the-mill, I shouldn't call them run-of-the-mill, but communication cables for telephony and cable television systems. And he came into us and was very adamant about the fact that he had something, there was a reason we should do business with them, and that's because he cared about us more than anybody else. And one of the things he did to validate that is that they offered to put together an emergency recovery plan. And that is to say that most cable in the United States is still aerial. It's hung, up above the power lines, or below the power lines. So your cable's aerial, it's hung up in the skies, it's very susceptible to tornadoes and hurricanes and strong storms. So people constantly have outages because trees fall across their communication lines. And he took a commodity product that should usually be sold purely on price, and through this recovery plan and his commitment that we were more important to him than we were to his competitors, by his willingness to put together this program, he basically won all of our business. He collected all these testimonials. Hey, this is what Larry's emergency recovery plan did for our system. This is how quickly we were able to recover. And it really makes a difference. So when people think you care, when people think that you're willing to make commitments based on, or make expenditures based on wanting your business, it makes a big impact. So here are some of the tactics that you can exhibit to have yourself being perceived as benevolent. The first and foremost is just listening. Every sales training program in the world will tell you to listen. I can't tell you how few salespeople do it. Very few. And it isn't just the fact that you're quiet, because a lot of salespeople have a tendency, they're looking at you and you're talking, but you can see they're thinking. They're already worried about what they're going to say next. Truly benevolent people, people who really care what you have to say, will not only listen, but then they'll paraphrase their understanding.